President Enrique Peña Nieto won office 3 years ago, promising to reform Mexico and usher in an age of prosperity and security. So far, people have seen little of either. Despite reforms in education and sectors like oil and telecommunications, poverty remains deep-rooted. And massacres involving security forces and corruption scandals have made Peña Nieto the most unpopular president in 20 years. Against this backdrop, midterm elections, a referendum of sorts on the president. It's the first time independent candidates have been allowed to run. The results could show that traditional parties have lost their stranglehold on the electorate.
If the electoral sends a clear-cut message that the society is fed up with corruption, it would do wonders for the economy.
Mexico has its success stories for sure. In rich industrial Nuevo León state, business is good. Plants pump out products for export, mainly to the United States.
This northern border state of Nuevo León has long been one of the main economic engines in Mexico, but business leaders here say the country's never met its full potential, and they hope that after this election some consensus can be reached that'll push the economy forward.
This plant's owner says reforms alone aren't enough.
We need to make sure some of the big structural reforms that have been passed in the past years really become value. And we need to make sure we implement them and create value out of those reforms. No, it's not enough to just change the law, but how does that law actually get implemented?
Polls point to the ruling PRI party and its allies winning the most seats in Congress. Still, if independent Jaime Rodriguez beats the ruling PRI's candidate for governor in Nuevo León as expected, it could lead to a weakening of Peña Nieto's coalition.
These elections aren't going to decide whether Peña Nieto stays or falls, but these elections are going to give some kind of pointers in what we can expect for the second half of his term.
And campaigning has predictably not been without violence. Several candidates across the country have been killed, dozens of others attacked, and there's a growing movement led by ballot-burning teachers calling for a boycott of the election. If the government is unable to hold the election in parts of the country, it will be seen as a major failure. A failure that Peña Nieto and his party could do well without.